Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Nutmeg Sports here on the HN Network on this Monday, November 13th. And we welcome in a new little bit of a cast. We're switching things up here. Of course, Frank Granito is under the weather today, so I'm stepping in for him. But alongside us, we also have a guy who's making his debut on the desk,
That's right,
Steve
Kevin.
Gutman. Steve, how's it going?
Good, Kev. How are you doing today?
Doing well. You're looking good at that desk right now. You got the
thanks.
jacket, the shirt, looking
Switched
good.
it up a little bit, usually on the other side of the camera, but today, take a turn for the better.
There you go. And behind the camera, we're also going to jump over to our director, Mike Suppy. Suppy's going to be joining us as well. Mike, how was your weekend?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Well, we had a great game on Saturday between Norwalk and Trinity. We're going to talk about that game a little later in the show. Right now, we want to send our congratulations to the Week 8 Athlete of the Week. So there was Matt Sermonaro of Fairfield Ward football. Sermonaro ran for 2 scores and threw for another touchdown, leading the Mustangs to a 32-29 victory over Brian McMahon on Friday. Sermonaro ran for 84 yards, passed for 123, and ran for a 2-point conversion as Ward improved to 4-4. And on the girls' side, it was Veronica O'Rourke from St. Joe's Girls Soccer. O'Rourke knocked away what would have been a game-tying goal just before time expired when the Cadets defeated Staples High 1-0 to win the FCAC title on Friday night. Aurora Senior finished with 11 saves as St. Joe's won the final after finishing as runner-up the past 2 years against the Richfield Tigers. So congratulations to Veronica and to Matt. And now we're going to switch things over as we can talk about our Week 9 nominees, and Steve Gutman's going to talk about the male nominees. Steve, take it away.
Thanks, Kev. So first for the FCAC's Male Athlete of the Week nominees, we have out of Norwalk's boys soccer, Michael Hidalgo had a goal and an assist as his Bears defeated the Fairfield Ward Mustangs, the 20th seed out of Norwalk, 28 from Fairfield, 2-1, second round of the CI Class Double L tournament. Hidalgo then scored with 3 seconds left in the second overtime to give Norwalk a 2-1 victory over Richfield in the Class L quarterfinals. Jaden Sheardon from St. Joseph football ran for 3 touchdowns and caught a scoring pass. St. Joe secured a win in the upcoming Class S tournament with a 49-7 rout over Brian McMahon on the road Friday. Harvey Alexander from Wilton football. Alexander with 6 touchdowns as the Warriors routed the West Hill Vikings 57-6 Friday. The senior running back had 22 carries for 209 yards. Among his touchdowns were carries of 52 and 25 yards. Ben Seipel had a great season already for Staples Cross Country, continued his success. Up in Maine, he finished 5th to help the Staples Records to a second-place team finish at the New England Interscholastic Cross-Country Championships Saturday in Belfast. He ran to a time of 15:53 in the 5,000-meter and placed in the top 11. Staples finishing only second to Xavier, who finished with 74 as a team, and Greg Gatto rounding it out for the boys FCAC nominees. School record 7 touchdown passes, and Richfield's rout of the Ward Mustangs yet again. They're coming up 55-8. They fell this past week. Senior quarterback throwing for 35 touchdown passes this year. How about that for the Cardiac Cats?
Well, Greg Gatto having another good year for my Richfield Tigers. Then we switch things over to the female athlete nominees of the week. We're going to start things with Greenwich Diving. Catherine Russack. Russack won the CIAC Class Double L Diving Championship with a score of 486.10 at the finals last weekend in Middletown, Connecticut. She edged teammate Annabelle Pollock by 17 points as the Cardinals swept the top 3 spots and had 4 divers in the top 5. Russack was the runner-up at the FCAC Championships and has earned a place at the State Open meet later this week. From St. Joe's volleyball, Grace Vocalina. Vocalina led the top-seeded cadets from her setter position when the St. Joe's cadets defeated Lee Mills 3-0 in a Class M quarterfinal match on Friday. The senior had 31 assists and 3 aces for her top-seeded squad. Vocalina had 29 assists and 3 aces in the cadets' second-round sweep of Tolland. Up next for Darien girls soccer, Christine Fiore. Fiore had 6 saves when the 9th-seeded Blue Wave defeated the 8th-seeded Shelton High Gales 2-1 in the second round of the Class Double L tournament on Thursday. The senior added 6 more saves in Darien's 1-0 win over top-seeded Suffield in Saturday's quarterfinals. From New Canaan Soccer, Catherine Reese. Reese scored in all 3 of New Canaan's goals in the CIAC Class L tournament as the 25th seeded Rams upsetted higher seeds in the first 2 rounds before falling to the #1 team RAM in the quarterfinals. Reese had both goals, including the game winner in the first overtime as New Canaan topped #8 Weathersfield in the first round, and her goal in the 54th minute gave the Rams a 1-0 win over #9 Notre Dame Fairfield in Thursday's second round game. Last but not least, from Staples Girls Soccer, it's Ashley Wright. Wright set up Marlo Van Onder a goal in regulation and then converted, then clinching the penalty kick as Staples defeated Trumbull 2-1 in the Class LL quarterfinals. So congratulations to the Week 8 winners, and now congratulations to our Week 9 nominees. Steve and I and Mike are going to step aside when we come back. We're going to break down Saturday afternoon's football game that was here on the HN Network between the Norwalk Bears and the Trinity Catholic Crusaders. All that coming up next on the HN Network.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off tour with the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
And welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HN Network. Kevin Coleman, Steve Gutman, and Mike Suppy with you. Saturday afternoon, we were live at Norwalk High School. The HN Network had full coverage of Norwalk High's football game between the Trinity Catholic Crusaders. It was senior day for the Bears as the Bears took down the Trinity Catholic Crusaders quite easily with a final score of 27-7. Trinity scoring in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. And guys, we'll bring you guys in just to kind of get your thoughts on what you saw. And Steve, I know you were out in the elements as well as myself being down the field, but just overall, and I know the weather didn't really play a factor because while it was cold, it was still a beautiful day out, blue skies, nice weather, a little bit of a breeze, but I thought that beginning of the game, really Norwalk set the tone early on.
Absolutely. They come out, weather, you can call it a factor if you want to, but, Trinity's playing in the same conditions. So, we saw Norwalk early on this year. They take on West Hill in a much closer game, but the turnovers were a story of that game, and we saw Norwalk's defense play a big part in this one as well.
And Mike, you look at that beginning part of the game, the turnovers, like Steve just said, really set the tone early, kind of put Trinity in a little bit of a hole. Trinity actually went all the way down the field to start the game off, and then the wheels kind of fell off there. How important was that for Norwalk to stop Trinity from scoring that first drive because they got all the way down into the red zone?
Yeah, they ripped off a nice big run on the first play of the game and then went basically backwards on offense for the rest of the game until the fourth quarter. And, they're a banged-up squad right now, Trinity. They're missing a lot of guys. They got guys playing out of position. And, Norwalk is a strong team. They're, secured at least a 500 season with that win, looking to go 6-4. And the FCAC team, they need more teams like that in that tier of team that can compete with some of the bigger teams and, have some good players out there, like an A.J. Hall, their big tailback, whose name is escaping me right now, who played a good game. But again, it was overall an impressive performance from Norwalk, I thought.
And Ishwa Ensminger is the running back, the tailback that you were thinking of, Mike. And
yeah,
how impressive was he? He was a beast. Kyle Gordon, the sophomore quarterback, did a great job of managing the game himself. But when he handed it off to Ensminger, he just took off. He kind of had that, if you want to put it in an example, Marshawn Lynch kind of a mentality out there. He was a bulldog, just ran through defenders.
Yeah, totally. He ran downhill. He made guys miss. He ran some guys over. It was overall what you want to see more of, to me, in high school football. Guys who can run the ball effectively between tackles and, not necessarily running out of jet sweeps and stuff like that. He was a good old-fashioned tailback there. Yeah,
we did see some jet sweeps. I know our very own John Kovach was very happy to see that breaking down the play Saturday afternoon. Steve, let's talk about that sophomore stud in Kyle Gordon. I thought he looked terrific as a quarterback on Saturday for the Norwalk Bears. How important is it for him in a game like that? That really boosts his confidence towards the end of the season, works on his game a little bit. Coming back junior year, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in the FCIAC.
Right, and that's one of the things I think John was pointing out during the game is that this kid still has 2 years ahead of him. So, you get this experience under your belt, and he's going to come back and still have strong years ahead. You really get to see him play now, and he's going to be with the Bears for a few years to come.
And, Mike, how, for this Norwalk team, a great win on Saturday. They have, it looks like at times they had the potential, maybe, next year, maybe for Kyle Gordon's senior year, this is a program that could really do some damage here in the FCIAC, that could really play along with some of the top dogs like Darien, like New Canaan, like Greenwich. Do you see Norwalk transforming this program and it's just going to be better and better for years to come?
Well, they're definitely trending in the right direction. Gordon's certainly impressive. It's going to be tougher for him without a guy like A.J. Hall next year. And they're going to have to obviously replace a lot of production, but they're definitely going in the right direction, in my opinion. And I think they can be a team that can, it's going to be tough for them to compete for Class AA berth with just those traditionally strong teams 1 through 8 on the top there. But I can see them breaking through and maybe getting into the state tournament in the next 2 years.
And Steve, let's talk about A.J. Hall because it was senior day for A.J. and along with all his, the rest of the seniors on this roster. Still a good mix of seniors, a good mix of juniors, sophomores, and freshmen who are stepping up pretty big for this team. But for A.J. Hall, how important was this for him to get that win at home for his last home game at Norwalk High?
Yeah, this is the biggest game of the season. The seniors obviously may not be the biggest rival, but you're probably going to have the biggest fans that you really want to make that impression on senior night. It's the game you may remember the most, aside from playoff games. And he comes out, plays a good game. He's been banged up at parts of this season, took a big hit at Trumbull. He comes out and kind of rebounds, and that's what you like to see.
Well, we're going to take a look now. Norwalk with their big 27-7 win on Saturday. Let's take a look back at what we saw from Saturday afternoon.
2nd and 5 now after the penalty. Low snap. Gordon recovers, wants to take a shot down the left side, and it's in the breadbasket. Touchdown, Jalen Elliott.
Great double move by Elliott, makes himself open, and not by much. He only got open by about a step, Frank.
Should they not gain any yards on this play, it would be a 27-yard attempt. As they bring Hall in motion and give to A.J. on the jet sweep. Cutting it up, finds a lane, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Norwalk. A big reason is because of how active he is in the run game as well as the passing game. And this ball is picked off in the passing game. It is the freshman Khalil Eason. As the second quarter will start with a screenplay here as Marlon Brown leaked out to the left side. Brown in a foot race down the sideline, and it is not one he often loses. He is into the end zone. Touchdown.
These long runs are going to take a toll, and it just leads to more long runs.
Well, here's another run, and it is over the goal line. Touchdown, Ensminger from 10 yards out, and it is now 26-0 Bears.
And you see right there, Ensminger just bulldozing his way into the end zone for a touchdown for the Norwalk Bears. But a lot of players stepped up, I thought, for these Norwalk Bears on Saturday, Mike. And I know one of them for you was Khalil Eason. Why don't you talk a little about the freshman, what you saw from him?
Yeah, he's really impressive for a freshman. You figure, he's 14 years old. He's out there making plays, he's picking off passes. He impressed me in the game when they played West Hill. He's definitely a kid to keep your eye on. And, Ensminger is another guy, too, that I just love the way he runs, watching him, downhill, keeps the shoulders low. He's an impressive player for sure. And both of those guys were the two standouts for me in that game.
And, Mike, one last question for you is, for Trinity, where do they go from here? I mean, already, only 2 wins on the season, a little bit of a disappointment. I know they're banged up. They had a lot of injuries this year, but early on, this team had a little bit of life to them. They played pretty well against some of the top teams early on in the season. Where do you see this team going for the next couple of years?
They got to get more guys out on the team. They suited up something like 27 players for that game, and once you get into November, that's tough. You're going to be losing guys. There's going to be attrition with injuries and stuff like that. And they got to get more guys out for the team. I think that's something Coach Panapana would definitely like to see, some more hats on the sideline there. But again, it's not the biggest school, so it's a challenge for them. But I think it's a numbers issue with Trinity. It's not a talent or coaching issue because it's a team that's been in the state tournament recently, and I think it's just a matter of getting more guys out playing football.
And Steve, got to ask you, how are your feet? I know you're a little cold on Saturday around the camera. You okay? You feeling all right? Warmed up?
I don't remember a game colder than that in the year that I've been here since. Really, I don't know that we have had one. I didn't know if I was going to bring all 10 toes back home with me, but we made it through. That's what we're there for.
All right, so the question is, have you learned your lesson? Are you ready for a Turkey Bowl? Because you never know. It could be cold on Thanksgiving Day. We got to have you ready to go, all dressed up and warm.
I'll be ready. I think 2 pairs of socks at least.
All right, and for Norwalk, their next game will be on Thanksgiving. These 2 teams will be playing on Thanksgiving. Norwalk is going to be at Brian McMahon, and Trinity will be hosting the Wilton Warriors. Well, we're going to step aside, but we're going to come back one more time. We're going to break down all of the CIAC tournaments. There's some FCI teams remaining in some of these semifinal games, so we're going to break all that down coming up next on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And now, during our Black Friday sales event, get 0% APR financing for up to 72 months, plus $1,000 retail bonus cash on select 2017 Ram 1500s. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
CT City Lacrosse is dedicated to helping youth and high school players reach their full potential. Director Mike Nazaro, head lacrosse coach at Stanford High School, is holding boys and girls indoor winter clinics for the 2017-2018 season at Bobby Valentine's Sports Academy in Stanford. Find out more and sign up at ctcitylax.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HN Network. Steve Gutman, Mike Suppy, I'm Kevin Coleman. Thank you guys for joining us. As we wrap up the show, we're going to break down all of what's going on here in the CIAC tournament. We got field hockey, girls volleyball, girls soccer, boys soccer. A lot of FCAC teams remain, and we'll start things with field hockey in the Class Double-L. There's 3 FCAC teams remaining here. We have number 5, Darien. They're taking on number 1, Enfield. And then in this other semifinal matchup, we have an FCAC matchup in the semifinals. We have number 3, Greenwich, taking on their rival, number 7, Staples. And this is where I'll bring both of you guys in just to kind of get a quick opinion on this. For Greenwich, Staples, how cool is this? 2 rivals meeting up with each other in FCAC the CIC Class Double-L tournament. I mean, this is going to be some crowd for this type of game. We obviously know the rivalry between Greenwich and Staples. Thanksgiving Day matchup between these 2 teams. How cool is this going to be, and who do you guys think is going to win that game? Steve, I'll start with you. Greenwich, Staples, who you got?
These are always really fun when the two teams from the same conference meet back up in the state tournament. We were looking forward to it last week. We thought there was a possibility that Trumbull Greenwich would go at it in the state tournament in boys soccer.
Yeah.
I like Greenwich in this one. Staples has played well all year, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Cardinals here.
All right. Does Darien have any chance against the number 1 seed Enfield, Steve? What do you got?
I haven't seen Enfield play ever, to be honest with you, but I would say that, listen, the Blue Wave is a very competitive school all around. I like Enfield, but it's really kind of neutral for me.
All right, Mike, top-seeded Enfield taking on number 5 Darien. Does the Blue Wave stand a chance against the top-seeded Enfield?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just looking on the CIAC tournament page, and both teams defeated Ludlow 1-0. So common opponent, 1-0 wins. That bodes well for a chance of an upset there for Darien.
And what do you like in this Greenwich-Staples matchup, the 3 and the 7, the rivalry? Who do you got in this one?
I'll go the chalk with Greenwich there. It's typically these games shake out where the higher seeds find a way to win. So based on my limited field hockey knowledge, I'll say I'll stick with the higher seed there and say Greenwich.
I'm going to go with the Blue Wave and the Wreckers making it to the finals. Not that down.
Contrarian, I like it.
We're switching things over now to girls volleyball in the Class Double-L semifinals. Greenwich makes it all the way to semifinals, the FCAC champion. They sit at the number 6 seed. They're going to take on number 2 Southington. Now the Cardinals, tough matchup here against Southington. Southington, always known to have a good volleyball team. Steve, what do you think? Greenwich, can they get by and reach that Class Double-L final?
We saw Greenwich play against St. Joe's not too long ago, and they look good. So, again, limited knowledge here. I'm going to take Greenwich. I like them to go all the way.
And Mike, what do you think? Can Greenwich get past Southington, reach that final, maybe grab not only an FCAC title but a CIAC Class Double-L tournament title?
I'm gonna take Southington there. They've only lost like 5 or 6 games all season. It's going to be a tough. Greenwich is a good team. If they get their hitting in rhythm, I can see them pulling the upset. But I think Southington will probably win that 1 in 5 games.
And we move things over to Class M in girls volleyball. The number 1 seeded St. Joe's Cadets are going to take on number 4 Haddam Killingworth in the semifinal in Class M. Of course, St. Joe's, the number 1 seeded team in the FCAC tournament, fell to Greenwich in that FCAC title game. Greenwich swept the St. Joe's Cadets, who had not lost a set in that tournament. Nice bounce back here for the Cadets in Class M. Are we expecting St. Joe's to go all the way here? Steve, I'll start with you.
Like I said, we just saw St. Joe's Greenwich not all that long ago. They got swept, and they didn't really look good. I don't know if they're hurt right now, if they're tired. I doubt it's that. But I like 4-seeded Haddam Killingworth. Give me Haddam this one.
Okay,
please.
Taking the 4-seed Haddam Killingworth.
That's right.
All right, Mike. St. Joe's. We know how good they are. They lost in the FCAC final. They pushed that aside. They did a nice job to bounce back. Are they going to make the final? Maybe even win that Class M title?
I think they have a good chance. It's going to be a close matchup. Bridget Fatsy was dealing with a hand injury in the FCAC tournament. That seemed to slow her down a little bit in that championship game against Greenwich. But HK is no pushover. They're a strong program. They've won state championships before. I'm going to stick with my higher seed there, and I'm going to say St. Joe's gets it done there.
All right, I'm going to go with St. Joe's as well on that one, and Greenwich. For girls soccer, move over to Class L. There's 3 FCAC teams remaining in this side of the tournament as well. Number 4 Staples taking on number 8 Darien. You see on your screen right here. That's going to be a great matchup. 2 FCAC schools meeting in the CIEC Class L semifinal. It's going to be a fun matchup. And then you scroll down a little farther. Number 7 Richfield's going to take on number 6 Glastonbury, a rematch of last year's final. These 2 teams, again, Mike, they meet each other again in this state tournament. I think Richfield is just tired of seeing Glastonbury. They can't seem to get by them. Do we expect to see the same thing, or can the Tigers get by them and reach that final?
It's going to be tough. Glastonbury had this 63-match win streak, I believe, coming into this year that got snapped, and they actually lost a couple games this year. They were, at one point, ranked, I believe, the #1 team in the country scholastically by the USA Today. But again, Ridgefield is a team, you know what you're going to get. They're going to battle, and it's going to be probably a game that's going to have 1 goal in it. And it's going to be a complete toss-up as to which team gets that goal. Based on the pedigree, I'm gonna stick with Glastonbury.
That's going to be a fun matchup. Now, Steve, do you give the Tigers any chance here? If they win, they go back to the final again. Do you see the Tigers winning this one, pulling the upset? Not really an upset, 6-7 matchup, but we know how good Glastonbury can be. Is Glastonbury going to roll over the Tigers?
That's right. These are close seeds. We've seen Ridgefield play, and they've looked good. I believe this is the 3rd year in a row they've met in the postseason. We're going to get a look at Ridgefield girls soccer here in a second, but I will take the Tigers to roll here.
And quickly, what about Staples Darien? 2 FCAC teams meeting again. How do you like the chances? Which team do you like?
I'm going to take Staples here. They, just give me chalk. Darien looked good when we saw them, but I like Staples in this one. Excuse me.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look now. We were able to meet up with Richfield and Darien a few weeks ago at Tiger Hollow as the Richfield Tigers defeated the Blue Wave 1-0 in the FCAC quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the highlights from a few weeks ago.
We're going to have a corner kick here, but I mean, you're talking about the clearing efforts from the back line. It's just getting to midfield, and then it's kicked around. No one really looked like they wanted to possess the ball in the first half.
Right. Well, Richfield at times looked like they wanted to try and develop something, and that's where that Blue Wave defense comes in. They're always on you. They're putting you under a ton of pressure.
Corner kick from Slamenko, heading towards that back post. A couple of bodies collided. Fiore hit the deck momentarily, but still playing on as the official shows no signs of blowing a whistle.
Oh, Claire Middlebrook had a great opportunity. She beat Fiore. Oh, what a great opportunity for the Richfield Tigers.
7 minutes remaining, and the Tigers showing signs of threatening here. Slamenko to the outside. Arnold on possession. Trying to slip around a defender. Sends one inside the box off a left foot. It's in! With 6:44 to play, Slamenko from Arnold. They've done it all year long, and they come up big again. Dribbling through traffic, the clock at 5. A ball sent towards the box one more time. Castle holds on, and the Tigers will too. 1-0. The final in this one as Ridgefield comes away with the quarterfinal win.
Congratulations and best of luck to all the FCAC teams who remain in the CIEC tournament. And a quick shout out to the Norwalk Bears boys soccer team as they take on #1 Naugatuck tonight. Best of luck to the Bears. And I thought we'd end the show a little bit of a fun way. Yesterday I got a chance to be at Yankee Stadium. There's some videos, some footage yesterday of kicking a little footy around as well, having some fun. And I hope you guys enjoy these videos.
This is the season ticket holder experience, right?
Yeah, the open house. It was a really cool experience, and got to mess around on the field. Get to they let fans on the field, which is a really cool experience.
I got a sneak peek of this on Snapchat. You guys are gonna like this.
You did. You guys are gonna like these videos. Have some fun with it, Dad. I love you. Let's work on your field goal kicks. All right. Have a look. Dad, I'll see you tonight. We're going to work on field goals, all right? That was a little questionable, all right? We'll work on that pin strike. You got to follow through. You got to sweep the leg, like Mike said. Guys, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Mike, thank you. Steve, great job as well. Looking good at that desk over there, my man. You have fun?
Yeah, you know what? I think I can take it for now, but I'm sure Frank's going to want that desk back, so you're going to need somewhere to go.
He is. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. For Steve Gutman, Mike Suppy, I'm Kevin Coleman. Frank, feel better, all right? We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. That'll do it for Nutmeg Sports on the HN Network. Tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. with Kate Chaplinsky, and, of course, Nutmeg Sports at 2 p.m. Have a good day, everyone.